Carline, Lebanon's Cafe.
Why wear the same old glasses everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on magazine, as unique as you.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralox, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralox technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralox is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Does Helm Paint have the best paint on the planet? Helm, yeah. We only sell Benjamin Moore, the world's finest paint. Because paint ain't paint. Let us steer you right. Helm Paint and Supply.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
We are back. Corey Johnson with you on a Tuesday afternoon in New Orleans, the world's greatest city. What a pleasure it is living here. And boy, in August lately with these overcast skies and not a whole lot of rain because it is New Orleans. Drew Brees is right. It's nice when you don't get a whole lot of rain, but you get that sort of threat of rain or at least overcast skies. Knocks the temperatures into the high 80s in August. And I don't know, I heard earlier, I think the meteorologists are just sort of, doing a little sensational gimmick. There ain't no feels like 10 something today. I mean, I'm a native New Orleanian. I'm not sticking my finger in my mouth and holding my finger up. But when I'm hearing on the radio or looking online, right now, Mario Brothers, what is the feels like, you think?
Probably like, I don't know, 98.
That's what they're going to say. I think they're going to say like $1.02, something like that.
Yeah.
And it's probably like, 90.
Yeah, no, feels like 98 and 87 is the official. But yeah, I hear you.
There you go. Feels like 87. I mean, it is 87 degrees. Feels like 90 is what I would say. And they're saying feels like 98.
Yep.
Like that's a scorcher almost. You're nearing 100 degrees. I just don't get that. I'm not feeling that out there. So I think it's sort of, I'm not busting on meteorologists in particular, but I think it's like, NFL training camp desperately looking for a story, desperately trying to make a prediction. 3 days of talking about Freddie Smith, who he gets cut when they go from 90 to 75. It's like, my God, he wasn't even like the last 20 getting cut. And you had a 3-day expose on Freddie Smith. It's kind of like that. I think the weather folks, the meteorologists are desperately trying to find a story. I remember Mardi Gras Day, Mario Brothers, this year. First time in my life I ever heard about this. It wasn't tropical storm or some kind of front. It was winds expected Mardi Gras Day, 50, 60 miles an hour. I don't know if you remember that or not. I was like, what? 50, 60 miles an hour? So I'm marching in the quarter Mardi Gras Day, and it was windy. It was breezy, 15, 20 miles an hour, not 50, 60. Just crazy. Then about 3 weeks later, I think it was St. Patrick's Day or something, same gimmick. Insane winds. I'm like, how long have the weather folks now been predicting wind speed days in advance when there's not a storm? I mean, it's like I've never heard of this. So both days they were way off. Didn't even hit half the numbers they were talking about. Didn't get to 25 miles an hour, much less 50 or 60. Just crazy. It was breezy that day. I've seen breezy, weather forecasts and it's breezy. This was ridiculous. So I think they're just sort of casting that money out there, hoping you'll grab it and hook you. The weather folks are desperate. That's why you remember St. Patrick's Day. It's going to rain all morning. They're canceling the parade. It was a gorgeous morning. Used to be everybody showed up in their tux, and if it's raining, driving there in the rain. You're hoping it's going to be that rain in New Orleans where maybe it goes away and we'll have our march, and that would happen a lot. Now it's a day or two out. Oh, Saturday could be a real, terrible rain day, and they cancel, and it's a great rain day. I'm playing golf that morning, looking at my buddies in the threesome going, dude, how'd you like to be in the, Irish-Italian marching club, the parade today? And you got canceled 2 days ago, and we're having this kind of weather. Just overcast, perfect. Anyway, I think the meteorologists are a reaching. What are they going for clicks? What is it called? What are you going for clicks online?
For clout, yeah.
Where you get people, where you say something ridiculous. What's that?
Yeah, clout. You're looking for clout.
No, well, not cloud, where they're actually physically, it's not clicks. What is it that they're doing when when you're trying to get folks paying attention to your Twitter feed? It's not trolling's the action, but the actual folks going on it and clicking on it. I thought, I forget what it's called.
Views, interactions.
Hits, I don't know, whatever, something.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's Mario Brothers. He's 30. He's supposed to know this stuff real quickly. But then again, like Scott Craig, he went to Brother Martin High School, and a lot of those kids that graduate from there can't read or write. Can't read or write. It's like Rummel. It's a sports thing. And then I found out later, wow, y'all do academics too? Wow, busting on Bromo. It's just not right, is it, Mario Brothers?
Not really, but it's all good.
I'm a Catholic leaguer from De La Salle. Isn't everybody, Shaw, St. Aug, Brother Martin, Jesuit, they're all, Rummel.
Yeah. All fine.
Open season, right?
Yeah, all fine schools. But yeah,
No.
rib on them a
No,
little bit.
no, they're not. They're not all fine schools. Oh, boy. That's Mario Brothers, a.k.a. Latinx, 766-9480. Defend your school. That's so important in New Orleans. Where'd you go to high school? That's such a, some sort of, social barometer. It's weird. And I've heard people, sort of disclaim it, don't judge me, I went to Jesuit, almost like they're saying. And then folks don't judge me, I went to this public school, but I turned out okay. It's like, wow, I wasn't even asking, but so-and-so was. But boy, where'd you go to high school is such a New Orleans thing. You don't get that really in other cities like you do New Orleans. We got a good one lined up for you. Hey, it's Tuesday. Normally, The Real Deal with Dan Real. But he's on assignment. He will be in this chair next week joining us. I love getting Dan Real on because we have a slew of topics and we get to go bounce back and forth. And I think Dan's a little more right wing than I am, So I think that's a good thing. Let's head to the phone lines. Ralph joins us in New Orleans. What up, Ralph? Ralph, are you there?
What's up, KJ?
Is Ralph short for Raphael?
No, it's short for Ralph Hole. I don't know. No, it's just Ralph.
Literally, your birth certificate is Ralph, R-A-L-P-H.
As far as I know, it's been a long time since I looked at my birth certificate, but as far as last time I looked at it.
No, I was just curious if it had an A-E-L on the end of it, like Raphael. But anyway, just wondering.
It's Ralph.
No, I like that name. Ralph's old school. I was talking to somebody today about great old school names like Barbara. There aren't a lot of those today. It's and I don't think there are lots of Ralphs today.
No, and I mean, I don't come across too many of them. You're right about that.
Ralph Malbrough, who writes for Channel 4's website, he's a Saints guy who lives in Houston, a New Orleanian. He's got that Saints podcast, a bunch of lunatics that get hammered and make Saints predictions. It's pretty funny. Ralph's smart.
It is a good one.
Yeah, Ralph's smart, and his jokes are they're like intelligence based. Sometimes I gotta think about what he's saying. It might go over my head. Smart
Ralph
guy.
in Houston spots Ralph in New Orleans about 65 IQ points on a good day.
Yeah, maybe 70 for the Johnson guy doing the show on radio and TV. What's on your mind, Ralph?
You know, it's funny you talk about this high school thing. I when people ask me where'd you go to school, I'm like, oh, UNO, and they're like, no, that's not what I meant.
What are you talking about? St. James Major? What level do you want?
Right. And they're like, no, high school. I'm like, oh, well, maybe it surprises you by the way I talk, but I did get a little bit more. I darkened the classroom beyond high school, but
yeah, exactly.
You're right, man. That's such a. I've worked with some folks from around the country, and they've all commented on New Orleanians. I don't know if it's because everyone figures that only like 23% of us or whatever the statistic is went beyond high school, and so they figured the other 70 some odd percent didn't.
I think human nature. I don't know what New Orleans. We're very emotional, so we're connected. We want to be connected with everybody. And with that said, I think we want to be in a comfortable spot, and I think we like putting people in places and in little slots. And high school sort of does that in so many different ways, socioeconomically, where you're from, who you hang out with. By the way, Ralph, where did you go to high school?
I went to Rummel.
Yeah, that's like Brother Martin. I swear, I was like, man, I thought that was like a sports thing. They actually have academics there. It's crazy.
Yeah, man. Best public school in Jefferson Parish.
Wow, nice. Best public school in Jefferson Parish. It's a Catholic private school. I like Ralph's comments. Those are good jokes. I know the folks on Severn are getting mad at me now. It's all Catholic League.
You gotta be able to rib yourself sometimes, though.
Well, for me, I'm not dogging like Carr, McDonough 35 or Newman or St. Martin's or something. I'm dogging fellow Catholic League schools as a De La Salle boy. That's the whole gimmick.
Right. And when people tell me they went to Newman, I'm like, golly, I'm in a different tax bracket than you, and mine's lower.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, the De La Salle, I was dogging some Brother Martin and Rummel guys the other day, and I gave them ammunition like, De La Salle's co-ed now. And they reply back, no, it's always been co-ed, that kind of gimmick.
I was going to ask you, when did they go co-ed?
Like, I think around 95, something like that. Maybe, 98. Somewhere like that, like about 25, 30 years ago now.
There's not many co-ed Catholic school. I mean, Pope John Paul and Slidell is co-ed. There's only a couple, like less than a handful, I think.
It was kind of smart, I think. You had Mercy shutting down, so I think it's sort of, I almost thought they should have called it De La Salle Mercy to get the Mercy alum donating to De La Salle, but, anyway. Hey, Ralph, no, go ahead.
Skin color matter, but like Redeemer Seton and it was in the Old Gentilly area. I think that was like the last black Catholic school. I mean,
got to take a break train.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSAgency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSAgency.com.
Word is, one of the best restaurants in New Orleans isn't even in New Orleans. Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. Cross the lake and taste what you're missing. Tuesday through Saturday, Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com. Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on Magazine, as unique as you.
Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges and universities and a booming job market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com.
Does Helm Paint have the best paint on the planet? Helm, yeah. We only sell Benjamin Moore, the world's finest paint. Because paint ain't paint. Let us steer you right. Helm Paint.
Francesca Deli and Pizzeria has over 15 specialty sandwiches, a big 10-ounce burger, and some of the best pizza in New Orleans. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End.
Not a politician or part of a political machine. Corey Johnson.
I propose that I use what's left of the town treasury to move to a more prosperous town and run for mayor.
In Metro New Orleans on 93.9 FM and 107.9 FM.
Yeah, you right. Crescent City and beyond. Corey Johnson back at you. Hey, real quick, if you're tired of your dry cleaner and simply want to experience the best, youngsdrycleaning.com. Walk-up locations, free pickup and delivery, manless locker locations all over Metro New Orleans. A New Orleans institution since 1940, youngsdrycleaning.com. New Orleans attorney Joe Rasponti joins us live again on the program. He was on Fox 8 earlier today. Every Tuesday morning, he's live on Fox 8's news. How you doing, Joe?
I'm doing great, Corey. How are you?
Good, man. What were you talking about this morning on Fox 8?
We talked about the redistricting plan that's in front of the United States Supreme Court out of Louisiana and its impact nationally. And then I gave Uncle Joey's theory on how it ought to be.
All right. Right now the ruling's in limbo, right?
What they did is basically went Ray Guy and punted to next term, but I think they're trying to delineate a little more the actual question before the court, and they're going to have the issue, I think, is going to be focused on the Voting Rights Act of 1965 and the 14th and 15th Amendments to get in the weeds. But they, this is kind of separate. I mean, not to say they couldn't impact long term, but this is separate from all of the noise that's going on in Texas, and California and all those things.
Yeah,
that's kind of a separate deal. I mean, they're related, but this thing in Louisiana could have some far-reaching results.
Joe Rasponti's with us, New Orleans attorney. I lose so many young dates with Ray Guy references, and then I add on to it like, did he hit the gondola? And then it's just, then the girl's like, can you bring me home right now?
Bring me home.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, you've been married for decades, Joe. So I mean, it works great for you. That's my era too, kind of my older brothers and sisters. I'm just telling you, the other day, some woman brought up, she went to Hawaii. The first thing I said was Don Ho. I go, that's the kind of crap I say to like some 40-year-old girl and looks at me and goes, who the hell's Don Ho?
Right.
You'd
be 100 years old. Right
exactly. I run off with those old comments like that aren't. Anyway, all right. What's Joe's theory, Uncle Joe's theory on how it should be broken up?
I thought about this. It's okay. And it's not okay. As we know, these gerrymanders are not about race as much as they're about politics. And the politicians are picking the voters instead of the voters picking the politicians. Here's my theory. Senate stays the same, two per state. Congressional districts are supposed to have like 450,000 or so people. Okay, if you're up against the border of a state, you can have the squiggly line as it pertains to the state's border. But everything else, all the other three borders of your district, we're going to call it the Uncle Joey's equator, prime meridian, longitudinal, latitudinal rule, which is this. If you want to expand or contract the district, you got to go either parallel, you go up or down, parallel to the equator, or right or left, parallel to the prime meridian. And so you can have a lot of square, rectangular districts, which means you're going to have all different kinds of people in every district, which means if you're running for Congress, you got to kind of be more of a moderate. You've got to touch the base of everybody to try to please everybody, or as many as you can, and do what's best for the country instead of getting elected by a carved out radical right or radical left electorate. And then when you get up to Washington, D.C., you get on whatever team you are and get to the furthest edge of the right or the furthest edge of the left and polarize us even more. Instead, we have 435 people up there who all have a gumbo of people that they have to answer to. But of course, you throw this in and you say, hey, and make it 12-year term limits to boot. They don't want to do that because it makes too much sense, because they don't want to have to compromise and meet with people and see what they want. They want to pick who will vote for them and keep them that way forever. And that's why we are where we are today.
The two senators, though.
Let me get down off my stump here, but that's my thinking, Corey.
No, I thought you were talking about the Louisiana congressional district breakdown. No. But just bringing up the national thing real quick. Two congressmen, I mean, I get it. Each state has equal representation in the Senate. But when, like, a North or South Dakota has like a population of like Orleans and Jefferson Parish,
no, I get it.
And California has 40 million people, like, 10 times Louisiana's population, much less Orleans and Jefferson, and South Dakota has the same number of senators as California. That's insane. I mean, Wyoming, same amount of senators. Just, that's crazy to me that, I think like South Dakota, North Dakota, maybe one senator representing both states. It's like, my God, really? It's crazy.
Well taken. I agree. I was just trying to solve one gigantic issue
No,
at a time.
I got you. Boy, we could talk about this topic all day long, and people arguing don't change a thing. It's set up perfectly. The congressional districts aren't really gerrymandering per se. I mean, it is, but it is about race. And Alabama has a little larger population than us. What do we have? We've got
4 million?
No, we got 4.5 million, and they got like 4.8. But I forget, we have what, 8 seats now, 7 seats.
I think 7.
Yeah. Okay. Is it 7 or 8? I think it's. Is it 8?
It may even be 6. It ain't 8 anymore.
I know the breakdown is that in Alabama, their percentage of Black populations like 28 or 29%, and them having 2 of, I guess, 8 districts is like 28, and that's what they did. And for us having 2 of the 7 or whatever our breakdown is, it basically comes down to a third, and that's the Black population. And the second Black congressional seat or district, I should say, seems obvious that it matches the demographics of Louisiana.
I agree, but you do realize, and I mean, I don't know, please anybody, I'm too stupid to think past my nose, but when you carve out 2 predominantly Black districts, guess what you get? 5 other districts that are more white, and those guys have their own license to go up there and do what they're going to do.
Yeah, we've got 6, and Alabama's got 7, because it's 2 would be 33%,
right,
and the other 4 would be the 66, and Alabama's got 7, and 2 would be like 28%, and the other would be. So yeah, that's the breakdown there. Yeah, now I got GQ in Covington verifying via email 6. So yeah, anyway, Joe Rasponti's with us. Hey, Joe, the Fourth Circuit Court of Appeals basically said in due course, as far as their ruling on Henry Consulting and the City Council of New Orleans, if they rule with Henry Consulting, it means he'll take over immediately and get a 7-year, $73 million deal. If they rule with the city of New Orleans, Ivy Waste continues through till December, and then they'll rebid for January of 2026. The losing party is going to appeal to the Louisiana Supreme Court, and that'll officially be the ultimate end of it. But in just your opinion, legally, your experience, decades doing this, when the Fourth Circuit says in due course, and I know it's different judges over time, so it could have meant something else a decade ago or 20 years ago compared to today. Just best guess on your part. What's in due course mean? How long will it take? So I know indefinitely, but is that a week, a month, 6 months? When do you think they'll rule on this?
How much longer does LaToya have in office?
January.
Well, there you go.
Oh boy.
That's my guess.
Yeah.
I don't think they want to touch it. I think it's foolish. I mean, you've been, you know this thing better than I do, but it's ridiculous.
It is
to switch these things like that. I have a feeling the Fourth Circuit's like, we don't want to get involved in this thing. So it's their version of the punt, like we talked about with the U.S. Supreme Court, and they can do it. They can take as long as they want.
Yep.
They do not have to answer, and I'm just going to guess they won't, because it's really pointless. At this stage of the game, or middle of August, and I mean, who knows? Now, she may get indicted, but of course, normal people would have enough shame to resign at that point. But she's not going to resign, and they're not going to. If she does get indicted, it ain't going to finish up or before her term ends. So that's not going to impact it. So we're back to the same cluster that we've been in from before. It's just at least you got Ivy Waste doing it, which I guess is a good thing because that's what everybody wants. And I think the Fourth Circuit's going to, I don't know this, but I think they're going to just sit back.
No, that's interesting. I think that's a good call. Yeah, why get involved? Let's just let this thing ride out. We don't need to make a decision. And by December or earlier than that, this will all be, this will be figured out. We're visiting with Joe Rasponti. Hey, Joe, shifting gears, Junkett Cantrell. A few weeks ago, rumors that an indictment was coming down on a Friday. Now I'm hearing that there was some conflict with one of the judges and that postponed it. Now momentum starting to build again, at least from the sources I'm talking to, sources plural, that maybe this Friday is indictment day for Junkett Cantrell. Are you hearing anything?
Yeah, I am, Corey, and I hate, you know me. I was the one that said always put your chip on not going to happen today, and I'm still going to have one chip on that. But my quote sources, and they gave me the reasons why it didn't happen last time, because one of the federal magistrates who was on duty last Friday, her husband is an attorney, a buddy of mine, has represents someone involved, so it made her kind of be conflicted out, so that they're going to come back this Friday and do it. Who knows if any of that is correct? All I know is I'm getting my teeth cleaned in Gulfport, Mississippi, from one of my buddies from dental school on Friday morning at 8:30, and Channel 8 wants me to be on call, so I have to come hustle back in case the grand jury comes and indicts her on Friday. So
yeah,
for whatever that's worth, that and $3 to get you a cup of coffee at Starbucks.
Yep. Hang on a second, Joe. We're going to take a quick break and come right back. I want to talk about that and a few more topics with you. I'm glad Joe reminded me, too. We are visiting with Dr. Joe Rasponti, who completed dental school and then went and got a law degree, a dentist and a lawyer. Wow. Why don't you come back to me? I think it looks like we're having some kind of technical problem.
Ladies and gentlemen,
There it
this
is.
is Walker the
Five
Little
area
Complex.
locations.
Something called
New
Quick
Orleans,
Lane.
Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge,
Wheels
and now
alignment,
Mandeville.
struts,
A day of
servicing your
relaxation
transmission.
just moments away
We're doing
from
all
Roadhouse
makes and
Day
models.
Spa.
It doesn't have to be purchased from us. It's for you. It handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible.
Take the quick trip
Lane.
across the
You
lake
gotta come
and
see it.
experience
You're gonna
Gallagher's
love the
527 in
experience.
Mandeville.
Right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the
For
economic
game-changing
engine that moves
innovation. Look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralox, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralox technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralox is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
In New Orleans, we don't eat to live. We live to eat.
More is better.
Scott Craig of Katie's.
That is our slogan. More is better at Katie's. It means more of everything. Not just more food, more smiles, more friendship, more love. More. When you do something, you have to do it right. You know, it's all about more, and it's all more of the good things.
Get more at Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City. As New Orleans as coffee in the morning and as New Orleans as coffee in the morning and raw oysters for lunch. It's Corey Johnson on the neutral ground.
Yeah, you right. Apologies for that technical problem. The old 286 computer. You're telling me it's a 1086 Mario Brothers? You even know what any of that is?
HP.
Do you know what a 1086 or 286 any of that is?
Not really.
You have no idea.
No, not really.
Wow.
Not on top of my head.
Pentium?
No.
Never heard of a Pentium chip.
No.
Wow.
I do not know what that is.
That's great. Joe Rasponti's with us. How'd you like to be 30 again, Joe?
Well, there's a lot of good things to it. But I'll tell you what, I do a couple things different. I'll tell you that, but I do a lot of it the same.
I remember the 1086 computer, then the 286 chip, 386, 486, then the 586 was a Pentium, and then Pentium Plus. And Mario Brothers is 30. He has no idea what I'm talking about.
I know all about computers. Those are those television sets attached to the typewriters. I know all about it.
Exactly. Exactly. The television set connected to the typewriter. Joe Rasponti's with us. Joe, you once said, and we were talking about the Fourth Circuit in due course, the feds move at their own speed. This indictment of Mayor LaToya Cantrell. One thing you've said, I think, Raphael Goyeneche said it. I brought it up with you several times. I've said it. It makes sense. When you see somebody getting indicted, a public official, a contractor, whatever, and there's another public official or a public official mentioned in the indictment, either directly or indirectly. And in this case, there's like 3 people indicted, and it's the mayor that is, a quid pro quo, getting, paid off for something or whatever, receiving something of value, and the person that's indicted receiving something of value. We've never seen, or apparently it's rare, where the public official mentioned in these indictments isn't indicted as well. And that seems to always have been what I've been clinging to, coupled with your saying of the feds move at their own speed. And now it seems like there's momentum on Mayor LaToya Cantrell being indicted.
Well, that's what it appears. And I mean, the first thing you said is right. She's the other side of the quid pro quo from Mr. Farrell, I believe his name was.
Yep.
So they mentioned her. They describe her. It's her in the indictment. So, but once again, as I said, there's a big piece of this puzzle missing as to why they haven't gone, and there's a reason. I don't know what it is, but like I said, now I guess I'm in the camp of, ooh, it's going to happen. I've been staunchly on the other side, but I'm going to go ahead and put a little one of them $10 chips on. It's going to happen on Friday. I still wouldn't bet much more than that, but and it's so funny. And I've been in the city hearing this stuff since Edwin Edwards, Ray Nagin, you name it. I'm forgetting quite a few, but it's always absolutely, positively, unequivocal. I got the greatest source in the world, and it's happening this Thursday or this Friday, and then it doesn't.
Yep.
Okay, so I don't want anybody to get themselves all verklempt over this.
No, we're stressing rumors.
It sure makes sense, and I got a plausible reason as to why it was supposed to go and didn't go last week. So we'll see. We'll see. What I will tell you, they're going to probably want me to talk about it, and I have a feeling this indictment is not going to be about one or two or three big acts. It's going to be about 30 or 40 different things she did. There's going to be multiple counts, because I think, from what I understand, and believe me, I'm not in the politics game anymore in the city, but she went around doing a lot of little things like these Saints tickets, hotel rooms, dinners. I think I told you last Friday, when 2 Fridays ago, when we were talking about this, and I said it's one of the kids I knew, my friend's son, saw her at a restaurant, and he knows the guy that owns it. He says she got up and stiffed him on the bill. She didn't pay for her lunch for her and her staff members. So that's her MO, getting something for nothing in the city. And I think there are enough people that have had a problem with it. So, like I say, it's going to be death by 1,000 cuts, possibly.
I think that sounds pretty interesting. I think that sounds correct. We're visiting with Joe Rasponti. Hey, Joe, a few weeks ago, Gilbert Montano resigned, and we were trying to put the pieces together. Maybe he's a cooperating witness. Maybe he's just running from this, getting away from the fire before it happens. That could still be the case, getting away from it. I guess he could still be a cooperating witness. There's a report that he's going to take a job, kind of the number 2 person, the chief of staff under Michael Sawaya, the president at the Audubon Institute. He'll be working at the Audubon Institute, Gilbert Montano. I don't think the Audubon Institute is unaware of the mayor's potential indictment, his connection to the mayor as chief of staff, the CAO of the city. I'm sure they have connections with the feds. I don't see the Audubon Institute giving this guy the number 2 job if he's crooked, if he's connected to something illegal. So
I agree with everything you said, and I think what's going on is all the above. I mean, it's a great job. I'm happy for him. Anytime I've ever dealt with a guy, he's a good guy. I'm glad to see he's landing on his feet in a big way.
Yep.
I think that clearly he got splashed by some of the puddle that got splashed, in those other 2 indictments. But I didn't think that there was anything that he had a big, that he was in trouble for. But you could see, like you said, he may be subpoenaed to testify, but I don't think, so what? I mean, I think he's going to do what he's supposed to do, start his new job. But I think he knew that the end was near. And I mean, can you imagine having that job and having to work for her and cover her tracks and answer for all the things she did and didn't do? What a nightmare of a job. The Audubon Institute sounds like a great place to work, especially compared to where he was before.
Yep. No, he did a hell of a good job, like being in that role and not having to like constantly justify her insane behavior. Sometimes he had to, but he's not like the media director, someone like that handling the media. So I think he did a good job kind of steering clear of that nightmare.
He did a good listen with the sport. I saw some of the things he did with Super Bowl. He's a smart guy. He was trying as hard as he could, and he did a lot of good things. So
No, there's very few things that I give the mayor credit for. Going outside, not hiring local anointed, appointed political hacks that expect a job in government. I mean, I'm sure she did that with a lot of positions, but with like Sewage and Water Board, Mitch Landry put, Cedric Grant in that position. That guy knows nothing. He's just an appointed, anointed political hack that goes back to like the Morial administration. He's been in dozens of different positions, has no expertise in anything. She brings in Ghassan Corbin from Milwaukee, a public works guy for 30 years that knew what he was doing, wasn't politically connected. I think Montano out of Albuquerque was the same kind of deal. She could have brought in some local anointed, appointed political hacks. So I give her credit for those two appointees. That was pretty fair and objective, trying to bring in the best people. I was kind of impressed by that.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree.
And I guess that sucks. Like, impressed for like doing the right thing. You're getting a gold star for being normal, Anyway. Hey, Joe, I got a few other topics I'd like to hit you up with, and you can talk about it if you'd like to or not. It's your call.
Whatever you want, Corey, I'm here for you.
In the news lately, I just think this is just pure Manning family stuff. I don't think it has anything to do with anything beyond how they operate. Archie Manning, the grandfather of Arch Manning, the starting quarterback for the number 1 ranked Texas Longhorns. Archie Manning said Arch isn't coming out after this year. It'll be 2 years at Texas before he comes out and goes into the NFL draft, which, kids got to prove it on the college field first, but it looks inevitable. There's some folks talking about that was like an indirect kind of like Eli Manning when, he's going to get drafted by the Chargers and he didn't want to go to that organization, and he kind of forced the league where the Giants had to do that. Steve Young did that before. I'm trying to think of some other players that have done that. Just a handful have kind of controlled their own destiny somewhat. Some folks are insinuating that's the Mannings indirectly doing this because they don't want Arch Manning going to the Saints.
Well, I tell you what, you're right. You got to be of an extreme talent to be able to pull this off. I mean, Deion Sanders tried to do it with his kid, and that flopped horrifically this go round. But here's the thing. Archie Manning, look, I take everybody at their word. Eli and Peyton both stuck around in college as long as they could. Little Arch has got 2 starts. At the end of this season, he'll have, maybe 15 or 16 or 17, which the pros don't think that's enough. So there's a lot of great reasons for him to stay at Texas. Besides, he's making $5 or $6 million a year NIL money, so and he doesn't need the money anyway. But having said that, the Mannings they're very specific and intentional about what they do. Archie would usually not come out and say anything. He came out specifically to do this, I think, because that it is a real likelihood that the Saints may be the number 1 pick this year, because I don't think they're going to do very well. Number 2, if they wanted to pick him, and he says, "Oh, I'm not going," everybody here would have their little feelings hurt, and they will anyway if that occurs. But at least this gives some cover for them to say, "Hey, back in August, we told you he was staying in." It's got nothing to do with New Orleans.
I'll give you that part as the back end of it, but I think it's clearly more just how the Manning family operates, and also to defuse, first pick in this year's draft, Arch Manning. He's going to be the first pick in the draft, NFL draft, NFL draft, NFL draft. Archie Manning's like, enjoy college, enjoy Austin. I think it's more of that.
I agree with all of that, Corey, but it's easier for him to say, you know what, I decided to come out, after the Texas wins the national championship and he wins the Heisman, or for whatever reason. But for them to say, no, I'm staying in, it's going to be an offense. Some will take it as an offense to whoever.
Yeah, no, by doing it early, you've covered all your bases.
Yeah,
That's typical Mannings. They cover all their bases. They do it right.
Yeah. So, no disrespect. They have every right to do that. I don't think it's a sneaky thing. I think it's a smart thing to do. So,
hey, Joe, maybe we'll see you again. We'll talk on Friday afternoon on this very program.
we'll see. All right, Corey. Look forward to talking to you at all times.
Always a pleasure, Joe.
Okay. All right. Bye-bye.
That's Joe Rasponti. Every Tuesday morning, he's on Fox 8, and he might be back there this Friday morning, and he might be back here with us Friday afternoon if Mayor Junkett Cantrell is indicted. Coming right back.
Word is, one of the best restaurants in New Orleans isn't even in New Orleans. Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. Cross the lake and taste what you're missing. Tuesday through Saturday, Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville.
The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, it's open now. We fix cars and trucks. We do all makes and models. And it doesn't have to be a Ford or a Lincoln. It could be whatever you're driving. 32,000 square feet under roof. Now open at 3101 Williams Boulevard. It's all about you, the customer, getting the most for your dollar. I would say the most perfect collision center anywhere. The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, 3101 Williams Boulevard. Go check it out.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on Magazine, as unique as you.
When USA Today ranked the 10 best must-visit New Orleans restaurants for travelers, Mid-City's own Katie's made the list. USA Today says Scott Craig is chef-owner at Katie's, a much-loved Creole Italian eatery that draws armies of regulars for lunch, brunch, and dinner. A neighborhood spot where locals congregate and New Orleans-style hospitality rules. Indeed it does. Katie's in Mid-City.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
Don't forget you can catch The Neutral Ground with Corey Johnson on television every weekday afternoon, 4 to 5:30 on Cox Channel 4 TV and Spectrum Channel 333 television.
Yeah, you right. Mario Brothers, a.k.a. Latin X at the controls, fielding your phone calls at 766-9480. 766-9480 is how you dial us up. Thanks for checking us out on the radio. Thanks for checking us out on television. Thanks for checking us out on YouTube. Yeah, The Neutral Ground with Corey Johnson. Click to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Rumors swirling again concerning Mayor Junkett Cantrell and a potential indictment coming down this Friday. Rumors say a judge had a conflict that kept the indictment from happening about 10 days ago. We'll see. This Friday might be the day. Joe Rasponti basically, for whatever it's worth, verified like that rumor. He said they had one of the judges' wives. There was some conflict representing someone with the law firm. Like he got into like the micro, the details of it. I just had the more broad macro picture that there was a judge that had some conflict. So Joe Rasponti, who I've not discussed this with, I text him, Joe, can you join me on the show? Discuss this. Not any particulars. He's verifying like a rumor that I heard in even more detail. And so Joe has his people, his sources. I have mine. Wanted to get him on the show. Who knows? Some of our sources may overlap. I doubt it. But this Friday, Mayor Latoya Cantrell might be indicted. I'm not doing this for like folks to, watch the show, tune in more, call in, generate interest in the program. You do this kind of crap. Rumor has it, rumor has it, rumor has it. I rarely do this. I only do it when it's multiple sources, not one, but 2, 3, 4, 5. And the indictment was expected a few weeks ago. There was a conflict with a judge. Now it's expected this Friday. We will see. I give these people that are reputable, these sources. This isn't like, I was driving, and a dude who had a sign that said, "We'll work for food." I handed him a $1 and an apple, and he said, "Hey, the mayor's getting indicted Friday." I said, "Thank you, homeless guy. You nailed it. I'll be using you as a source." No, it's reputable people that have been right every time in the past, that don't throw things out that aren't legit. So we'll see. We'll see. I thought Joe Rasponti had an interesting take on multiple little things like 30 or 40 and, indictment on 30 or 40 counts. And there are a bunch of little things like taking this free meal, taking these Saints tickets, taking that, free phone, all these things. Let's not forget, and you can look at it and go, whatever, that's petty. The trying to think of her name, the number 2 in charge, the old roommate of Sheriff Hudson, maybe in a romantic relationship. I don't care. But she gets fired from the Office of Inspector General for stealing a cell phone. She stole a phone and sold it. It's crazy. She got fired for that. Ethics board, she appealed it. Judges ruled in favor of the OIG. She stole the phone. She gets hired by the sheriff right away. So you can go, man, it's just a phone she stole. Vappy, the indictment on Vappy's like $7,000. But like I've often said, that's like the thing they got Vappy on, hook, line, and sinker. There's probably a lot more $7,000 here, $7,000 there of fake overtime, not working when you were on the clock, things of that nature. This they've got, rock solid. So I don't dismiss the little things. And what level does it matter? Stole $7,000, $70,000, 700,000, 7 million. Where do you? Well, Corey, $7,000's too little. 70, you're getting warm. 700,000, you definitely indict. 70, I'm on the fence. 7, no. I mean, what? There's it's theft, public official. I don't care what it is. iPhone, Saints tickets. That's why they're great laws. This no cup of coffee law in some states, and this is not about quid pro quo and politicians taking bribes or extortion. This is just about politicians when they vote as a legislator, as an elected official, they can take nothing of value from anyone, not even a cup of coffee. And in Louisiana, that never gains traction because the politicians like getting their free crap. Period. End of story. No, why should lobbyists or citizens be able to give any politician anything for free? Cup of coffee, free meal, nothing. You represent me. You work for me. You're civic-minded. You work for me. I voted you into office. I don't owe you a damn thing. Bring your own wallet to the lunch if that's where we're going to go discuss my problem. Anyway, rumors swirling again. Mayor Junkett Cantrell and a potential indictment coming down this Friday. We will see. Trump considering reclassifying marijuana. Right now, marijuana is like a Schedule 1 drug. Cocaine is Schedule 2. So, I mean, do I even need to say any more than that? And I'm not an advocate for it. I don't give a crap. The only reason I'd want marijuana changed to the correct schedule is so it's in the correct schedule and research frees up and things of that nature. I mean, marijuana is essentially legal in the United States now, not at a federal level, but there are states where recreational marijuana is legal, and states like Louisiana or Mississippi with the medical marijuana, it is a farce. It is a joke. Are there people that are on medical marijuana for medical reasons? You bet. I would say it's about 10% of Louisiana and Mississippi's medical marijuana card holders have a legitimate medical problem that marijuana helps them. I'd say it's about 10%. I'd say the other 90%, I mean, literally, you call a doctor on the phone. My hair hurts. When I brush my hair, the hair follicles hurt. My toenails are killing me. They will get you a marijuana card. And then you go to the pharmacy and get marijuana. So it's essentially legal. But having it like Schedule 1 with like heroin and LSD, and then Schedule 2 is like oxycodone and Vicodin and meth and cocaine. Yeah, Schedule 3 seems about right. Tylenol, codeine, ketamine, testosterone. Those are Schedule 3. Hell, Schedule 4 is Xanax and Soma and Darvon, Valium, Ambien. Boy, I'm glad I don't take any pills and never have had to. That seems like an easy thing to get addicted to, pills. I know so many people that have gotten addicted to pills, had to go to rehab or beat it. Now, in my lifetime, I've probably taken a couple hundred pills in my life, including like Tylenol and aspirin. Corey Johnson with you.
Corey Johnson on TV on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333. Also on YouTube, on radio at NOLA Talk 93.9 FM, WSLA New Orleans.
It's 5 p.m.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
My Sittu, that's Arabic for grandmother, used to make the best football kibbe. You can experience kibbe just like my grandmother used to make, and so many other Middle Eastern favorites on the streetcar line, Lebanon's Cafe.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on magazine, as unique as you.
Total maintenance keeps you cool. Total maintenance keeps you cool. Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com, your cool spots. Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com, your cool spots.
Tired of cleaning your gutters? Improve the value and look of your home with Leaf Guard gutters. And you'll never have to clean your gutters again, ever. I guarantee it. Let Audubon Gutters install Leaf Guard gutters today. You'll improve the look and value of your home. And right now is the perfect time during Audubon Gutters 99-cent installation sale. Call 469-6494 now. Get out of that gutter and get on the phone. At Audubon Gutters.
South Shore residents that love good food are making the short trip across the lake to Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. North Shore folks have known about Gallagher's 527 for years. Now the South Shore has discovered this hidden gem. One of the metro area's best restaurants is less than 30 minutes away. Take the quick trip across the lake and experience Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. As good as it gets.
In New Orleans, we don't eat to live. We live to eat.
More is better.
Scott Craig of Katie's.
That is our slogan. More is better at Katie's. It means more of everything. Not just more food, more smiles, more friendship, more love. More. When you do something, you have to do it right. You know, it's all about more, and it's all more of the good things.
Get more at Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City.
It's time to relax. The Woodhouse Day Spa, Metro New Orleans' premier day spa experience, now with 5 area locations. For a day of relaxation or maybe just a quick 1-hour getaway, the Metro area's premier day spa experience is at the Woodhouse Day Spa. And now 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and our newest location in Mandeville. The Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
Does Helm Paint have the best paint on the planet? Helm, yeah. We only sell Benjamin Moore, the world's finest paint. Because paint ain't paint. Let us steer you right. Helm Paint. And supply.
Yeah, you right. Let's do this thing. 5 o'clock power hour on a Tuesday afternoon in New Orleans. I'm not buying this feels like 99, 100, 102 gimmick. It's overcast. It's cloudy. It's nice outside. High 80s. Feels like high 80s. I think the meteorologists are bluffing because this is New Orleans. Drew Brees is absolutely right. The weather changes dramatically in New Orleans, and I think the weather folks like, saying stuff like Mardi Gras Day, 50-mile-an-hour wind forecast. I'm like, where do you come up with that? There's no tropical storm or depression or something connected. You're just predicting 50-mile-an-hour wind. Wrong. About 3 weeks later, same thing. I'm like, I've never heard meteorologists predicting wind 2 or 3 days in advance. Hey, Thursday, we're going to see 50 and 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts. I'm like, it's like a tropical storm almost. Yet there's no storm. So those kind of sensational things. I remember on St. Patrick's Day, going to be a rain out. Wasn't. St. Patrick's Day, the marching club cancels their Saturday morning walk. I'm playing golf Saturday morning going, man, what a great day to be out here. It's not so hot. Anyway, it's I'm not saying it's not hot outside, but it feels like, 90, not 102. It's not a scorcher. It's actually kind of comfortable. I'm looking forward to walking Tolly in a few hours around 7:30. Hopefully there'll be a little breeze, ideally coming out of the north. We'll see. Hey, the 5 o'clock power hour on this Tuesday afternoon brought to you by Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. Gallagher's 527 restaurant in Mandeville. They're open tonight for dinner, Tuesday through Friday for lunch, Tuesday through Saturday night for dinner. I was there over the weekend. My brother's in from London, my brother who lives here, a buddy of mine, my nephew. We went to Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville, a fantastic meal. Ordered so much great stuff. I wanted to order the crab claws that were on the menu. Piping hot crab claws in this little ramekin. Just sizzling, just fantastic. But we ordered so much other stuff. They had an oyster dressing that Pat Gallagher made as a special that night. We ordered it. We ordered the seafood mirliton, incredible. Ordered the what's the sweet potato souffle, incredible. I'm going blank on sweet potatoes. I was about to call them yams, and that's not a good thing. They're sweet potatoes down here, right? It is a yam, but boy, it's like candy. It's like a dessert, the sweet potato casserole from Gallagher's 527. Yes, I started with the seafood gumbo. My buddy got the turtle soup. I recommend that because he loves turtle soup. And the crab meat St. Francis, I said, hey, no offense to everybody here. I'm getting my own and I'm not sharing. So get one for y'all. And my buddy got one for himself. I wasn't trying to be rude. I just love it that much. And I ended up sharing a little bit anyway, but put a little lemon on that crab meat St. Francis appetizer, one of the best crab meat appetizers anyway. I got the USDA Prime New York strip. Right when I put my knife into that steak, I knew it was going to be fantastic, and it was. Sizzling in butter, great desserts, creme brulee, key lime pie. Gallagher's 527, the ooey gooey dessert. Sounds as good as it is. Gallagher's 527. Get there this week. If you've never been, you live on the South Shore, it is an easy ride. It was relaxing. Visiting with family and friends, you're over there like that. Make some phone calls, decompress. It's nice to get away from the city and get on the causeway for 25 minutes, 23 minutes, put it on cruise control and just go. Less than 25 minutes from Lakeside Shopping Center to the front door at Gallagher's 527. There's no driving on the North Shore. You cross the lake right behind the Shell station by the Aquista Pace Grocery. One of the finest dining experiences in the metro area. If you're on the South Shore this week, make it to Mandeville. Gallagher's 527. So damn good. Nothing on that menu is not very good to excellent. Nothing bad on that menu. Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. 5 o'clock power hour this afternoon brought to you by Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. Rumors swirling again concerning Mayor Junkett Cantrell and a potential indictment coming down this Friday. Now, we talked about this a few weeks ago. The rumors say a judge had a conflict that kept the indictment from happening about 10 days ago. Joe Rasponti joined us last hour to talk about this. I did not talk to Joe today discussing this. I simply texted him, want to come on and talk about potential indictment of the mayor on Friday? Sure. He basically concurred. Now, the rumor, he's like, yep. From what I'm hearing, there was a judge, his wife worked for a law firm. There was a conflict. He got even deeper. All I heard was a judge had a conflict, and that's why it wasn't done 10 days ago. Joe was like a judge's wife, works for a law firm. There was a conflict with, so he had even more detail. But the point is, we're hearing the same rumors. And like Joe Rasponti, it's not the guy on the street yelling it in the window. Hey, Corey, here the mayor's getting indicted. My name's Freddie. When I say sources, it's plural and it's multiple, like 3 or more. Same situation with Joe Rasponti. Maybe some of our sources overlap. I doubt it. I think they're different people. We're slightly different age group. I'm like, 50s. Joe's in his 60s. Different people. He's a legal guy. I'm not. Anyway, we'll see. This Friday might be the day. Corey Johnson with you. 766-9480. 766-9480. President Trump will probably reclassify marijuana. And it should be. It's a Schedule 1 drug. Examples out there are like heroin and LSD. Cocaine, oxycodone are Schedule 2. I mean, marijuana should be a Schedule 3 or Schedule 4 drug. I mean, I think some of the Schedule 4 drugs are more of a threat than marijuana. Xanax, Soma, Darvon, Valium, Ambien. Schedule 5's like Robitussin, literally, like over the counter. That's Schedule 5. Schedule 4, I just mentioned. Schedule 3 is like ketamine, what like Elon Musk is reportedly on. Special K, I guess. Testosterone. Tylenol with codeine, I think, is a Schedule 3. Schedule 2 is like Ritalin, Adderall, meth, cocaine, Vicodin, oxycodone. Those are Schedule 2. Yeah, marijuana shouldn't be a Schedule 1. Should be like a Schedule 3 or 4. Shouldn't be in with heroin and LSD, and shouldn't be considered worse than cocaine or meth. Crazy. Here's something crazy. Just like in the last decade or so, daily use in the United States, marijuana surpasses alcohol. Daily use in the United States, it's like 18 million folks. And these are folks that just claim it. It's probably north of that number. 18 million say they are daily use marijuana users. That's about 5% of the population, 1 in 20. I think that number's higher than 1 in 20. I think it's higher than 18 million. And alcohol, 15 million say they drink daily. There are 15 million in New Orleans that drink daily. And we only have a population of 1.2 million. 15 million that drink daily. That's like 1 in 30 with the population. That's way off. 1 in 27, 1 in 28. It's way off. There are a lot of people that drink daily that don't want to admit it. And there's some that readily admit it. There are a lot of people that smoke marijuana daily and don't want to admit it. And there's folks that'll readily admit it. Anyway, I think daily use of marijuana at 18 million is a low number, and daily use of alcohol at 15 million is a low number. And if weed consumption on a daily level is past alcohol consumption on a daily level, I'm skeptical of that. I think weed's north of 18 million people a day, but alcohol's way north of 15 million a day. Are you kidding me? I know so many people that drink every day. And they don't get drunk every day, but they'll have a glass of wine at lunch and work the rest of the day. And at dinner, they might have a few glasses of wine, might have a cocktail, and then have wine. And I know some friends, a good buddy of mine, he drank all the time. And then towards the end of his life, he stopped drinking completely. I mean, I don't know. We're in New Orleans, so it's a little skewed here. I mean, I went to LSU, skewed. New Orleans. We love our alcohol. Just no doubt about it. No, thank God. I like that I'm not a big drinker. I can't tell you the last time I was like just hammered drunk, where I was like drunk, didn't know what was going on. It's like, God, Corey needs help. Got to carry him, walk him around. Decades ago. I mean, I've caught a little buzz here and there, but I had at Gallagher's 527, I think I had a glass of Pinot. 1 glass. Maybe 2. I think just 1. Over like a 2.5 hour meal. I was drinking water and enjoying the food. I think there are a lot of restaurants. There's one in Metairie in particular that serves some lousy steaks. And I think people just get hammered there, and they bring out a tender choice filet, sizzling in butter. And it's the filet. It's tender. It's cardboard. It's tasteless. And you're drunk and you're like, it's a good steak. It's like you're hammered. You don't know what you're eating. This place gets by being a crappy steakhouse now for decades because I think half the clientele is hammered. Corey Johnson with you on a Tuesday. Coming right back. Don't move, New Orleans.
Francesca Deli and Pizzeria has over 15 specialty sandwiches, a big 10-ounce burger, and some of the best pizza in New Orleans. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End.
Word is, one of the best restaurants in New Orleans isn't even in New Orleans. Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. Cross the lake and taste what you're missing. Tuesday through Saturday, Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville.
Total maintenance keeps you cool. Total maintenance keeps you cool. Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com, your cool spots. Total maintenance. Total maintenance key. TM-JC.com. They'll cool spots.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, insagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, insagency.com.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
Scott Craig of Katie's Restaurant.
All of my ingredients are fresh. Nothing comes out of a can here. Nothing. All of our seafood is Louisiana. All of our vegetables are Louisiana vegetables. It's a neighborhood restaurant.
Katie's in Mid-City. Here's New Orleans native son, Corey Johnson.
Native son, great New Orleanian. No, that's me.
In Metro New Orleans on 93.9 FM and 107.9 FM.
New Orleans native son. No, that's me. That's me, lady. 766-9480 is how you dial us up. 766-9480. Thanks so much for joining us. Gilbert Montano, Mayor Junkett Cantrell's former city CAO, taking a new job with the Audubon Institute. He'll be their number 2 person there, chief of staff. Got some big projects with the Audubon Institute. The biggest is the Audubon Institute handling the former Esplanade Street Wharf and the Nichols Street Wharf, converting those into a riverfront park that'll connect the Moonwalk and Waldenberg Park, the aquarium. Will seamlessly, heading east downriver, will go right into this, former Esplanade Nichols Street Wharf that'll become a park that'll go right into Crescent Park. So basically from like the foot of Canal Street in Poydras by the Four Seasons all the way to like Poland Avenue, like a couple of miles along the riverfront of Linear Park. It's going to become one of the great parks of America, man. Have you been to Crescent Park? Have you been there, Mario Brothers, aka Latinx?
No, I have not.
It's incredible, man. Do you ride your bike? Do you have a bike?
Oh, no.
Wow. All right, never mind. Mario Brothers, 30 years old, sits in front of the TV with the controller and plays video games. Wow. Anyway, Crescent Park's really nice. The only problem with, I don't like parks that close, that have hours that close. I guess that, at night when it gets dark, it's going to automatically sort of close. It's going to kind of shut down, but I don't know, locking gates and things like that, whatever. I mean, Audubon Park, I guess in theory at night is closed. It's not lit up. You can't go jogging or go on the bike path or any of that. It's in theory, it's closed at night. Don't want people up in there. I guess it's dark. Crap could happen if people are up in there. Anyway, no, Crescent Park is really nice. It's going to be really nice when they get all of that connected. So Gilbert Montano now going to be with the Audubon Institute under their president and CEO. He's like the number 2 guy, the chief of staff, former city CAO under the mayor. Now, he resigned a few weeks ago, and the thought was he resigned. The mayor's about to get indicted, wants to stay away from that, doesn't want to be on her staff when she gets indicted, like left before she got indicted. And then there was thoughts like maybe he's a cooperating witness for the feds. And I've often praised the mayor for a couple of things and a couple of things only. Hiring Ghassan Corbin to run the Sewage and Water Board. He did a great job, modernized it, did a lot in 7 years, maybe more than the last 70. And he's an outsider from Milwaukee. It's what he does. That's his profession. Montano came from like Albuquerque. He had nothing to do with New Orleans politics. There was no, anointed, appointed political hack getting that gig. So I respect the mayor's choices there. She did the right thing there, shockingly. Now, I would think the Audubon Institute, that has a pretty damn good reputation, they did a serious look into Montano and not like background check beyond what he was doing as mayor's CAO, the city CAO. Probably talked to some folks they know with the feds. Hey, is this Montano guy clean? Is he going to be, something comes up if the mayor gets indicted, is something dirty going to fall on him? We're about to hire him as our number 2 at the Audubon Institute. We don't need any baggage. We don't need any crap. So I'm assuming they did their due diligence and Montano comes clean. Now, that doesn't mean he didn't resign early. Probably looking into this Audubon Institute gig for a while. This didn't happen in the last 2 weeks. Let me go check the wanted ads. Oh, Audubon Institute's looking for a chief of staff. Oh, they're going to make the hire, and it's me in 2 weeks. He obviously, while he was CAO of the city, he was looking into this. They may have agreed to this. This may have made the resignation easy. Already had a new gig lined up. That's most likely how that went down. That would make sense based off the timeline. But also, it's like looking at other gigs early. Maybe for months he's been looking for other gigs in town like this. And this just popped up and was a good fit. Got the gig secured, resigned, wants to get out before the mayor gets indicted. And still could be a cooperating witness. Not like, hey, we're not going to indict you, but we just want to call you in as a witness and ask you how, the mayor operated. And it might, no, she never did do that. She didn't think that was necessary. And I never thought anything bad could happen, but now you guys are showing me that because of that, she did this, that kind of thing. And maybe he has nothing to do with the indictment and is not going to be a cooperating witness. But Gilbert Montano looks like he's going to be the number 2 at the Audubon Institute. Yeah, the rumors are swirling again. Multiple sources. Again, this is like a few weeks ago. That Mayor Junkett Cantrell and a potential indictment coming down this Friday, this week. Now, we did this same song and dance 2 weeks ago. But you can either think it's a song and dance and go run with that, and Corey's just trying to get people watching his show. I tell you to go to Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. You go and it's not great, because I'm telling you it's great. You go and it's not great, you're going to be like, Corey talks a lot of crap. His rep isn't so good. So I have a lot of confidence. If you go to Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville, you're going to agree with me that it's fantastic. I have a lot of confidence when I'm saying there's rumors and I have multiple sources that you believe me, because I don't do this all the time. And the rumors are swirling again about this indictment. Some of the folks I talked to, these sources say a judge had a conflict that kept the indictment from happening about 10 days ago or 2 Fridays ago. I had Joe Rasponti on the program this afternoon. I text Joe, want to come on and talk about the mayor's potential indictment? Sure. That's it. We didn't talk at all today. I get him on the show. I ask him about the rumors, and he says he thinks it's going to happen on Friday, and then went into it. It was supposed to happen a few Fridays ago, but one of the judge's wives who works for a law firm, he went into like detail about this conflict. All I knew was the big, conflict that this judge had a conflict. It was the judge's wife working for a law firm. So Joe, who's, lawyer, legal guy, he knew the particulars. I knew kind of the bigger picture. Just there was a judge conflict. That's why it didn't come down a few weeks ago. Point is, Joe's hearing the same stuff from his sources as I'm hearing from mine. So we will see if Friday is the day. And the sources I have, they're not, people that throw out a bunch of stuff to me. They're people that when something happens, they call me and tell me, and they're right every time. So I have a lot of confidence in these sources with an S, plural, multiple people, not one, multiple. So we'll see if this Friday is the day. 766-9480 is the phone number. No, I don't want to tarnish my reputation and sit here. Rumors say, rumors say, rumors say, rumors. It's going to be the rumor show, and Corey's just talking crap. It's like I'm on social media just spewing out a bunch of stuff, and it doesn't matter if it's right or wrong. 766-9480 is how you dial us up. Mario Bro, a.k.a. Latin X, running the controls, fielding your phone calls. 766-9480. Yeah, the Trump administration, Trump's going to reclassify marijuana from a Schedule 1 drug in there, like with heroin and LSD. Go right past Schedule 2, because Schedule 2 is like cocaine, meth, to probably Schedule 3 with like Tylenol with codeine, ketamine, the drug that Elon Musk is supposedly on, testosterone. A lot of men get testosterone, boost their testosterone level if it's low. Those are Schedule 3. Or maybe it'll go to Schedule 4 with Xanax, Soma, Darvon, Valium, Ambien. Schedule 5 is like Robitussin, over the shelf. Anyway, Schedule 1 with heroin and LSD, marijuana, is ridiculous. And Schedule 2, like cocaine, is like a lesser evil, according to the feds, than marijuana, meth, Vicodin, oxycodone. Please. It's funny how alcohol and where are cigarettes, tobacco, none of those are in any of these Schedule 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 drugs. Google that for me, Mario Brothers, a.k.a. Latinx. Is alcohol part of the feds Schedule 1, Schedule 2, etc.? Alcohol, it seems, would be part of that. One thing about Mario Brothers, a.k.a. Latinx, he's 30. He can type. Types very well.
Yeah, no, it says alcohol is not a controlled substance.
Okay, what about what was the other thing I said? Cigarettes?
Gotcha.
Like, no, I guess cigarettes would be just like the same thing, not a controlled substance. That I'm answering the question myself. Not a controlled substance, huh?
Nope, they're not tobacco.
Not a
alcohol nor tobacco is no.
Not a controlled substance. Mm-hmm. I mean, I would argue, I've smoked marijuana before and I've had alcohol before. I would think alcohol is worse than marijuana.
Yeah, I agree.
Just generally speaking, I'm not advocating either one in excess. No. I'm not advocating either one if you don't drink or smoke, that's great. Good for you. I've never talked to someone, man, I don't drink alcohol or smoke marijuana. I'm just like, man, there's something wrong with that guy. Like, people like to, I don't know, project or think there's something wrong. It's like, a person doesn't smoke or do drugs, so they have a problem.
Exactly. I don't judge either way.
No. Well, I don't know. If someone's like a lunatic, I do.
Yeah. I mean, if you're getting drunk and going to work. And,
right. Exactly. Or you're a druggie. I don't want to have anything to do with you.
But if you'd like to get a little drunk, like
come on.
After you clock out.
No, exactly. I don't care if you smoke weed and I don't care really if you do drugs per se. I don't want to see you do it. And it's funny, Mario Brothers, like, people know that about you. Yes. Like, they know, oh, Corey doesn't want to see, I'm not going to do drugs in front of Corey. Exactly. But I've been out at midnight or 2 a.m. at Tipitina's at some live show or Maple Leaf, and, people are, it's like, that's not just alcohol.
Downtown New Orleans and downtown a lot of cities in our nation, you're going to smell it in the air.
Oh, good. Come on. I walked Irene's. I get stoned walking Irene's. It's a joke. And there's a cop on the corner. Yeah. And there's dudes with just these like blunt things, just smoking like crazy. That's a little obnoxious, to be honest with you. I don't give a crap if you smoke. I went to Manhattan and it just reeks of weed on the street because it's legal. It's like, go inside your apartment, go in your car. I don't know what to tell you. Walking down the street, just children, elderly folks. They don't need to smell that crap. Anyway, be less selfish.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
There's a Middle Eastern restaurant that's less than 5 minutes from where Causeway and River Road meet, Lebanon's Cafe. Convenient to Old Metairie and Old Jefferson. Carrollton at Jeanette on the streetcar line, Lebanon's Cafe.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, insagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, insagency.com.
Does Helm Paint have the best paint on the planet? Helm, yeah. We only sell Benjamin Moore, the world's finest paint. Because paint ain't paint. Let us steer you right. Helm Paint.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes are magazine, as unique as you.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
In New Orleans, we don't eat to live, we live to eat.
More is better.
Scott Craig of Katie's.
That is our slogan. More is better at Katie's. It means more of everything. Not just more food, more smiles, more friendship, more love, more. When you do something, you have to do it right. You know, it's all about more, and it's all more of the good things.
Get more at Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this Lamarck Automotive Complex is something called Quick Lane. Tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We're doing all makes and models. It doesn't have to have been purchased from us. It's for you. It handles your life.
South Shore residents that love good food are making the short trip across the lake to Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. North Shore folks have known about Gallagher's 527 for years. Now the South Shore has discovered this hidden gem. One of the metro area's best restaurants is less than 30 minutes away. Take the quick trip across the lake and experience Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. As good as it gets.
You're on the neutral ground with Corey Johnson, where the grass hasn't been cut in weeks or months. There's a lot of trash and garbage on the neutral ground, maybe even a person or two taking a nap. And oh, someone didn't pick up the dog
You right. Corey Johnson back at you on a Tuesday afternoon. Thanks so much for joining us. A lot to discuss. Rumors swirling again. Mayor Junkett Cantrell could be indicted, a potential indictment this Friday. Rumors say a judge had a conflict that kept the indictment from going down a couple of Fridays ago. Now that conflict appears to be solved, and Mayor LaToya Cantrell could be indicted this Friday. Again, I wish I could confirm it. It's definitive. I've talked to the feds. I've got that source. It's going to happen. But I've talked to many sources, several sources today that have really good information and contacts, and they say it's coming down Friday. Joe Rasponti joined us in the 4 o'clock hour to discuss. He had lots of interesting angles on that. Coming up in about 25 minutes, straight up 6 o'clock, you'll be able to check out the program via our YouTube channel, The Neutral Ground with Corey Johnson, and you can go to the 4 o'clock hour and check out Joe's interview. No, Joe is saying he thinks it's coming down, and he thinks it's going to be like 30, 40, counts. Lots of little things instead of like one or two big things. Lots of little things. Taking Saints tickets, taking an iPhone, taking a free meal, taking this money, taking this trip, taking $500, taking this, that, clothing, this, that. So I think Joe's onto something, and I think Joe's opinions are based off of rumors he's hearing from people that know this stuff. We'll see. This Friday might be the day. Could you imagine if, first off, I rarely say rumors, and I did it 2 weeks ago and feeling pretty confident about it. And then the sources I trust saying, yeah, there was a conflict with a judge. And then Joe Rasponti basically verifies it. And Joe and I didn't discuss that. So his sources are saying the same thing. And he's saying Friday. Now, Joe said something interesting. I'll always bet against that happening. It's kind of like, I'll let you pick the Super Bowl team. I'll take the other 31. I'm going to win that bet 19 out of 20 times. You can pick the team first that you think's going to win the Super Bowl. I'll take anyone else, and I win. Joe's like, I'd bet a little bit of money that she gets indicted Friday. Like, almost saying like the opposite. Always bet against it because you never know when it's going to happen. The feds work at their own speed. Now he's like, feels pretty confident. So we'll see. Gilbert Montano, Mayor Junkett Cantrell's former city CAO, taking a new gig with the Audubon Institute. He'll be their number 2 under their CEO, their president. He'll be the Audubon Institute's chief of staff. Now, Montano resigned a few weeks ago. Within a few weeks, he's getting this big-time Audubon gig. I don't think Montano resigned. Within a day or two said, hey, let me go online and look for a new job, or got a phone call from the Audubon Institute right away and said, oh, wow, you resigned from the city. You should throw your hat in our chief of staff deal. I think Gilbert Montano, for months, it could have been 6 months ago, months and months, maybe longer, made a decision. I'm not going to finish out this term with the mayor. I'm not going to leave when she leaves. I'm going to leave before. And maybe it's like she's going to be indicted and I don't want to have anything to do with that. Or maybe it's, I just want to get out before the term ends. And I like New Orleans. Let me start looking for another gig. And I think he started looking for another gig. And I think he landed the Audubon gig like a month ago or 3 weeks ago. And then once that was secure, he then resigned his position with the city, knowing he's going to be with the Audubon Institute. There's going to be no lag time. That's my assumption based off of how quickly he got the gig with the Audubon Institute. I don't think you resign 10, 12 days ago, start looking for a new job and land this plum of a job that quickly. I think he's been working on this for months and months and months. I think the Audubon Institute gig was offered to him and he accepted it a month ago, maybe longer, or maybe a few weeks ago. And then once that was secure, he then resigned his position with the city. But that doesn't mean, he wasn't trying to get out early to avoid being connected to the mayor if she gets indicted. Wants to get out early. So when the mayor ends her second term, all the bad pub doesn't include him. Or maybe lastly, he's going to be a cooperating witness. And not like you did something wrong, we're letting you off and cooperate, but we just want to ask you questions as CAO. And lastly, I think the Audubon Institute, which has a pretty good reputation, I don't think they're hiring Gilbert Montano if he's got a lot of baggage, if he's going to be indicted with the mayor, if he's going to be included with any of the crap that the mayor's doing. I think they did their research, their homework. I think they got in touch with, at the very least, sources that could talk to the feds or the feds directly and said, hey, are we safe? We don't want to hurt our reputation. Are we safe hiring Gilbert Montano? We like him. We like his resume. It fits in perfectly with what we're doing, but we don't want any baggage. I think the feds gave him a green light. Gave the Audubon Institute a green light. You can make that higher and you don't have to worry about it. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, I think Gilbert Montano months ago, I got to get out of this. He was 7 years with the mayor. That's damn impressive. I couldn't work 7 minutes with this mayor, much less 7 years. I mean, just belligerent, agenda-driven, contrary, just sort of wacky. You know, I'm not trying to be a jerk, but mayor probably needs some meds. She's a little out there and definitely has some problems. I mean, talking about alcohol, she drinks a lot. I've seen her out in public and she likes to drink. I'll never forget, like 6 months ago at Houston's bar, she's eating like the French fries and had about 5 drinks. And then I think pulled a cup out of her purse and took a Go cup because there are no plastic to-go cups at Houston's. You can't get a plastic cup there. They don't have them in the back. They don't have a styrofoam cup. There's no to-go cups. You can't get that at Houston's. And she had a cup that I've never seen before at Houston's. And she walked out with her drink. And I was leaving at like the same time. And she's walking out there. 2 cops sitting on that bench by the door, having to wait for her. Just could have been working the beat, doing some detective work, something. Taxpayer money paying these guys. And she's sitting there just yapping and slamming drinks. No, I've seen that before at Lillette on Magazine, sitting outside with the crew, just getting hammered, loud, obnoxious. We'll see what happens Friday with the mayor. And yeah, you can understand Gilbert Montano not wanting any more to do with that. It's just getting worse and worse and worse. Trump is talking about reclassifying marijuana. I don't know. He might bring some to Alaska for that Putin meeting this Friday. Who knows? Putin and Trump are just going to get really high in Alaska. Marijuana is a Schedule 1 drug like heroin and LSD is. Schedule 2 is like cocaine and meth. It'll go at least to Schedule 3, which is like testosterone, Tylenol with codeine, ketamine, which I think Elon Musk is on. Schedule 4 is Xanax, Soma, Darvon, Valium, Ambien. Those are just examples I'm giving you, not every drug. Schedule 5 is like over-the-counter Robitussin. You get it at Walgreens. But marijuana should go from Schedule 1 to 3 or 4. And definitely, it's funny how it's Schedule 1 right now and cocaine is Schedule 2. Like, how is that possible? 766-9480. 766-9480. Hey, if you think paint is paint, well, it ain't. Paint ain't paint. Benjamin Moore Paint, Helm Paint and Decorating. Benjamin Moore, the best paint in the planet. Say no to the big box store. Say no to the national chain store. In New Orleans, for over 55 years, we've been going to Helm Paint and Decorating. For the last few years, they've been covering Capital City, Baton Rouge, Tigertown, Red Stick. 7 locations in Metro New Orleans, East Bank, West Bank, North Shore, including Mandeville and Covington, Mandeville and Hammond. And you Baton Rouge folks, 4 locations. The best part, free 2-hour delivery. So you and your crew can keep on working. Free 2-hour delivery of those high-quality Benjamin Moore paints, the best in the world, because paint ain't paint. In Metro New Orleans, free 2-hour delivery in Metro Baton Rouge. When it's time to paint in New Orleans or Baton Rouge, Helm Paint and Decorating, they'll steer you in the right direction. Corey Johnson with you on a Tuesday afternoon. Every Tuesday, The Real Deal with Dan Real. A little more conservative leaning than I am. We go over a slew of topics. That's in the 4 o'clock hour every Tuesday. Dan on assignment today. He'll be back next week in that very chair to the right of me. And we'll be chit-chatting about all kind of stuff. Joe Rasponti joined us in the 4 o'clock hour, talking about pretty interesting, the Fourth Circuit. They're like, in due course, will decide on this French Quarter trash contract thing. Essentially, Henry Consulting suing the city council. Joe Rasponti says, They're in no hurry. He goes, they prefer to not interfere. IV Waste is cleaning up the quarter. They probably are just going to take their sweet time on giving a decision on Henry Consulting versus the city of New Orleans. Essentially, the gist of the lawsuit is Henry Consulting gets the contract. It's 7 years, $73 million. The council contends by law, any contract over $1 million, we have to approve that. We have to vote and approve it. The mayor and Henry Consulting are saying, in this case, it's not necessary. The Fourth Circuit's going to decide that. If they rule in favor of Henry Consulting, they could take over the contract immediately, and it wouldn't be just through December. It'd be 7 years, $73 million, the long haul. If the city council wins, IV Waste stays through December, and they'll have a bid for January of 2026 and beyond. But it's still in over because the losing side will appeal to the Louisiana Supreme Court. And then finally, then and only then, it'll be over. Finally. Corey Johnson with you on a Tuesday. Yeah, you right.
Scott Craig of Katie's Restaurant.
All of my ingredients are fresh. Nothing comes out of a can here. Nothing. All of our seafood is Louisiana. All of our vegetables are Louisiana vegetables. It's a neighborhood restaurant.
Katie's in Mid-City.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations, New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa, woodhousespas.com.
Tired of cleaning your gutters? Improve the value and look of your home with Leaf Guard gutters. And you'll never have to clean your gutters again, ever. I guarantee it. Let Audubon Gutters install Leaf Guard gutters today. You'll improve the look and value of your home. And right now is the perfect time during Audubon Gutters' 99-cent installation sale. Call 469-6494 now.
Get out of that gutter and get on the phone. At Audubon Gutters.
Word is, one of the best restaurants in New Orleans isn't even in New Orleans. Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. Cross the lake and taste what you're missing. Tuesday through Saturday. Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes, a magazine as unique as you.
Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges and universities and a booming job market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com.
The official afternoon talk show of the city of New Orleans. It's Corey Johnson on the Neutral Ground.
You can say anything you please about me, but don't say anything bad about Blue Boy.
Down, Blue Boy. Good buddy.
That is very, very true. 766-9480. You can call and rip me. Corey, you're wrong on this. So wrong. How do you say that? That's ridiculous. 766-9480. But don't say anything disparaging about Blue Boy. I'll take it personally. Blue Boy's just a good boy. He's an innocent boy. Friendly, nice, happy-go-lucky. I can't say anything bad about Blue Boy. Tuesday afternoon edition of the program. We're with you every weekday afternoon. Make it part of your day, 4 to 6 o'clock. At least check in for a little while. We're going to have something good. You may not like the whole 2 hours, but we're going to have something for you every weekday afternoon, 4 to 6 o'clock on radio, on television, on YouTube. If you go to CoreyTalks.com, my website, it has all the radio stations, TV stations, YouTube, all that, links, connections, all that. Watch, listen, CoreyTalks.com. It is a Tuesday afternoon. Rumors swirling again. Mayor Junkett Cantrell and a potential indictment coming down this Friday. I know some of you are like, Corey, you said that 2 weeks ago. The folks I talked to said it was going down 2 weeks ago, but a judge had a conflict, and that stopped it from going down 2 Fridays ago. It's going down this Friday. I had Joe Rasponti on the program. I simply text Joe, can you come on the show to talk about this? We never discussed it. I never talked to him until he was live on the air. He not only said, hey, man, it would have gone down 2 weeks ago, without me prodding that. I just said, are you hearing about an indictment Friday? He says, yeah, it looks like it's going to happen Friday. Was going to go down 2 weeks ago. I mean, I was going to ask him this, but he was already ahead of me. He's like, a judge, the wife of one of the judges, works for a law firm, and there was a conflict with, that they were worried about that could be a problem that would give, the mayor and the mayor's attorney ammunition, so they wanted to clear that conflict, and that's why it didn't go down 2 Fridays ago. Apparently that conflict is cleared now, so this Friday is supposed to be the day. I put my reputation on the line. I have multiple sources, not one. I don't do things like I hope it's true, I want it to be true. I go where the facts lead me, and these are reputable sources, and I can't confirm it with the feds. That's why I'm not saying it's going down Friday. I have it confirmed. I'm saying rumors from reputable sources say the mayor will be indicted on Friday. And the same sources were telling me 2 weeks ago. But there was this conflict that delayed things. So these sources are impeccable. They've never done me wrong over years, even decades. And sources, plural, with an S. Got it from one, called another, got it from that one, backed up with another, and so on. So my rep's on the line. I don't throw out rumors and this and that all the time. I mentioned get to Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville for lunch or dinner this week. And I'm saying it's not very good. It's great. It's excellent. It's one of the best restaurants in the city. If you go there and you find it to be mediocre, like it is mediocre, and it's not, it's what I'm telling you, one of the best dining experiences anywhere, you'll go, Corey's rep sucks. He told me to go here. He told me to go there. And these places are terrible. No, my reputation's on the line. It could be Gallagher's 527. It could be rumors circulating from sources, plural, that I've talked about. I'm getting it verified, trying to get it verified that this Friday the mayor will be indicted. So take it for whatever you want. But no, my rep's on the line. And I'm lucky. The clients that I talk about on this program, I mean, Young's Dry Cleaning, New Orleans Institution, the best at what they do. The Woodhouse, the city's premier day spa. I just mentioned Gallagher's, so good. Helm Paint and Decorating. Why would you go get paint anywhere else? They're the best at what they do. Art and Eyes, eyewear, frames, eyeglasses, on Magazine. One of the best boutiques in the country. You walk in there, you'll be like, Corey knows what he's talking about. Latrim, global manufacturing giant. Google Latrim. Audubon Gutters. They're a New Orleans, company for 35 years. All they do are gutters. Drew and his family-run business, Audubon Gutters, New Orleans owned, the best at what they do. Trey Yen, 41,000 plus Chinese restaurants in America. Trey Yen's top 50, top 25 national folks rating it. serving presidents, plural, at the White House. Trey Yen in Mandeville. Lamarck Automotive Complex, the big store, over 45 years. Lamarck Lincoln, number 1. It's Ronnie Lamarck. He's not number 2 at anything. Lebanon's Cafe. When I say one of the finest Middle Eastern dining experiences in Metro New Orleans, it is. Lamb chops, shish kebab, all those good things. Total Maintenance. 40 years in Southeast Louisiana. Sterling reputation with the Better Business Bureau. You need AC help? Lucas incapable of screwing you around. Air conditioning experts diagnosing it right the first time, and they come with a sense of urgency. No, the best at what they do. Katie's, a New Orleans institution. USA Today said, if you're a tourist coming into New Orleans, there are 10 restaurants you have to go to. And they're rating all different levels. They're like, Katie's is one of them. Pure New Orleans. No, I'm fortunate. The clients, the people I talk about, I pick and choose. I'm very picky and choosy. I get folks wanting me to promote their business all the time. And I'm not a jerk about it. I'm not like, man, I've been to your place. It sucks. I don't like your place. I mean, usually there's a conflict of interest. I'm already promoting like that type of business, same category. Or I'm just like, I'm not really familiar with your business. I don't come out this way. And I've done my research. I'm kind of just letting those folks down. Now, the folks out there listening that own these businesses are like, man, I've approached Corey before and he said no to me. Well, you're going to have to figure out, does Corey think your business isn't very good, or was there a legitimate conflict and your business is good? You have to figure that out on your own. But no, I'm lucky. I'm very choosy. I always have been. I only deal with the best at what they do. I'm a native New Orleanian that's been here a long time. I've trial and error, gone with places that aren't good. So no, my rep's on the line. So when I'm telling you something like rumors swirling again that the mayor could be indicted this Friday, my rep's on the line. You keep doing that stuff over and over again, people don't listen to you. Like, man, it's the boy who cried wolf. Corey's talking about another rumor with the 100th one. He's had one stick. He throws so much against the wall, well, something's going to stick. That's not me. Rumors swirling again. Friday, the mayor might be indicted. Junkett Cantrell. Let's go to this guest that's joining us and what he thinks. It's Blue Boy. Blue Boy, you've been sniffing around, pun intended. You got that basset hound nose. You are hearing the same rumors. Wow, Blue Boy. Actually, you're not hearing any rumors. You've just been in the backyard. All right. But you trust my sources. Thank you, Blue Boy. Mario Brothers, a.k.a. Latinx. Thank you. Mañana.
Neutral Ground with Corey Johnson. On TV on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333. Also on YouTube. On radio at NOLA Talk 93.9 FM. WSLA New Orleans.
It's 6 p.m.